Welcome back to the show. For over a year, Pakistan has been negotiating the pledges and the methods of delivery of the Friends of Democratic Pakistan. So far, however, only a fraction of the pledges have been received, while some of Pakistan's staunchest allies are lukewarm towards the FODP forum. More in this report.
A significant endeavor to stabilize Pakistan. The 26-member Friends of Democratic Pakistan conference in New York was destined to be a high-profile international event. It was chaired by President Barack Obama, Prime Minister Gordon Brown, and President Asif Ali Zardari. The FODP conference was arranged to address two interrelated and potent threats facing Pakistan: terrorism and a failing economy. While President Zardari clearly maintained that a stable and prosperous Pakistan was the international community's greatest hope against the spread of extremism and terrorism, his US counterpart urged the world to rally behind Islamabad. The event took place at a time when money is scarce and even developed economies are struggling to stay afloat. While it thus highlighted the seriousness of global commitment to stabilize Pakistan, it also made people wonder whether the international community's positive attitude towards the country would actually translate into monetary assistance. Previously, there was a gap between FODP's aid commitments and actual capital inflows.
Unfortunately, our last budget had provided for a provision of $2 billion from Friends of Pakistan as a budgetary support. That may not be coming, or may not be coming to the extent that we had budgeted for.
There is also a political dimension to this endeavor. While Washington has used its international clout to establish this forum and to make it work, Pakistan's closest ally China and its brotherly Muslim states such as Saudi Arabia have not used this grouping to provide monetary relief to Islamabad. Some of these states have kept a safe distance from this international platform. Others don't want this US-dominated cluster of states to deliver. Either way, the Friends of Democratic Pakistan can only make a difference if Islamabad's legitimate economic requirements are recognized and genuinely addressed.
Is there an East versus West divide at the FODP? We asked some experts.
It seems that China has not been active in Friends of Democratic Pakistan. Perhaps China thought that Friends of Pakistan would be dominated by the Western countries, especially United States, and it did not want to compromise its special relationship with Pakistan at the bilateral level, and that is the channel which they are going to use. And the same can be said about Saudi Arabia. If you look at the assistant patron of Saudi Arabia to Pakistan, they have provided maximum assistance through bilateral channels, through assistance, through loans, and that patron continues. They must have thought that since they are continuing to assist Pakistan for all kind of sectors, why should they become part of a bigger organization and transmit their assistance through a channel rather than having a direct connection?
Basically, if you go back to it, there is some resentment among them, and which is very strange because both these countries have always stood by Pakistan. And it is not to say that they will not still give Pakistan aid, but I don't think that they would like to do it within the particular umbrella of the Friends of Democratic Pakistan.
Because of this war on terror, there is a preeminence that the US has gained in the entire region. And if you look at that fact, does it really not bother China in terms of their concerns as to the prominent position that US has taken in the region? It certainly does. But China has a way of handling things, and the way of handling things is to just back off a little bit, let the situation develop, let the evolution of the entire thing take place, and then determine where do they come in and how do they come in and where do they stand in that realm. Also the fact that they do not want to be seen as overtly aggressive in the way that they do their diplomacy. That is not their style.
Generally, both China and Saudi Arabia have been very supportive of Pakistan, and they have extended assistance to us in a whole range of fields on an ongoing basis. So we still have their assistance coming into many areas. Therefore, this is for them one of the many forums or channels for giving assistance to Pakistan. While for some other countries, this is perhaps the main channel.
We cannot afford that China and Saudi Arabia remain out of the process. Now, whether they want to come in the Friends of Democratic process by itself, or they want to give the support to us independently of that process, that is immaterial. It's not necessary that they should be part of the process, the FODP process. But I do feel that we must engage with them at the highest level.
Pakistan is getting the aid and the trade, but is it getting a fair deal? We'll find out after the break.